with Falcon hockey coach Joe Cranston. And Joe, the Falcons beat UW-Eau Claire 3-2 and 3-1 to win the first round NCHA playoff series over the Blue Goals at Hunt Arena last weekend. Can you talk a little bit more about those two games?
Well, I think we went into those two games with a mindset that we needed to set the pace in those games. And if we control the tempo, I talked last week that we needed to control the tempo and set the pace because we just had more depth than they had, and they were a little beat up, but they just don't have the depth that we do. So going into those games, we knew we had to do that. And they have some key players. They can't just roll four lines like we can, and they have some key players. They need to get into the lineup a lot to generate enough offense to beat a team like us. So I just knew if we rolled four lines and set the tempo that we could win those games. And we tied them both earlier in the season, so it was nice to come back and win both of those games. But really, in both those games, Eau Claire kind of ran out of gas about halfway through each one of those games. We really took it to them in the third period. So even being down 2-1 going into that third period on the second game, I knew we still had a really good chance. And with the mini game too, and we had everything going for us. And even down 2-1, I didn't even go in the locker room after the second period. Those girls knew what to do, and they knew what was going on. So it was fun to see them come out, set the pace, and take care of business in that third period.
Joe, in the last 16 games, the Falcons are 12-0-4. That's a great streak going, obviously. What's led to it? What's the deal there?
Well, I think we show a lot of character. Sometimes we run into some adversity here and there and some different things with penalties or just anytime we get our backs against the wall. This year they've come out and shown character and just battled back, and a lot of our ties were come from behind. And just like that last Eau Claire game, we take care of business when we have to, and even when we were at Bethel and down by a goal and come out and score 5 goals in 10 minutes. And it's been one of those seasons. Down at Lake Forest, both those games we were down 3-0, came back, tied it up. But it's just been one of those years when if we get ahead and we get rolling, we do a great job. But on the other hand too, if our backs are against the wall and we need to step it up, we do. So it's been a pretty fun run.
Joe, the Falcons are now 18-3-6 overall and ranked 6th in this week's U.S. College HockeyOnline.com poll. Big weekend coming up. Travel to Lake Forest, play Adrian College in the first NCHA semifinal game. That's at 7:30 on Friday. Falcons split a 2-game series earlier in December against Adrian. The title game set for 2:30 on Saturday. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, we just have to beat Adrian. That's the main thing. We're going down. We're getting ready for that. I think same thing. I think we have a little more depth. We're able to play more kids, so that's going to be to our advantage. I think we outskated them for most of the 2 games we played them earlier in the year. They took it to us for 1 out of the 6 periods, really. So, but that's just obviously this time of the year. It's March, and we're lucky to still be playing, but we have to keep winning. We have to keep that streak going. And if we beat Adrian, it doesn't matter to me who we play in that championship game, whether it's Superior or Lake Forest, makes no difference. We split basically or tied with all those teams, so it's really coming down to who's going to be healthy, who's going to be ready to go, have the best game plan. But the bottom line is who wants it the most is probably going to come out of that thing with the O'Brien Cup and the bid for the NCAAs.
Joe, any concern about playing 7:30 on Friday and then maybe having to come back at 2:30 on Saturday?
Well, it's an advantage for whoever wins that first game to get that extra rest. But we've been doing that all year. We've been doing the 7 o'clock game and a 2 o'clock game, so now 7:30, 2:30. It's what we did last weekend. One of the reasons I wanted to do that with Eau Claire is just so we get that rhythm. But I think that would affect our team less than any other team in the tournament. So I really don't see it as being a big deal. We're just going to go down. We're going to go down the morning of. We're not going to go down and stay overnight and do all that, have all those distractions. We're just going to get on the bus on Friday. We're going to go down there and hopefully take care of business.
Joe, good luck to the Falcons this weekend. We'll talk to you next week.